Hello and welcome. I am Rohit Trisar. Create the custom leave and absence analyst agent to help employees in understanding their current absences and available leave balances. Also supports them in submitting absence requests. The custom AI agent leave and absence analyst helps employees simplify access to leave details and actions. To create the custom agent, we need to follow these main steps. Create tools or edit existing tools that the agent can use to find and show details. Create an agent team, including a worker agent and tools. And finally, test the agent and make it available for use. To begin, let's go to AI Agent Studio, which is where developers and administrators create and manage these AI agents. Let's begin by navigating to Tools and selecting AI Agent Studio. Here you will see a list of seeded templates. But in this demo, instead of copying a pre-built template, we'll create a new agent from scratch. Before we set up the agent, we need to create the tools it will use to respond to user inquiries. This includes business objects and a deep link. We will start by creating the existing absence business object. Then we'll review a few seeded business objects like absence balance, public worker, and the worker assignment business object. Next, we'll create a deep link that allows us to add an absence. After that, we'll build tools for each of these business objects, including the deep link. And finally, we will add all of these tools along with the get user session tool into our custom agent. So let's begin by creating a new business object that will help the agent fetch existing absences. So click on the business objects tab. Click on add. Enter the family as HCM, product as absences. Give it a name. Resource type as monolith resource, and resource path as we'll update the resource path, and give it a description. Now under business object functions, click on plus, enter a name. So we'll enter get absences because we want the business object to fetch existing absences of the worker. Give it a description. We'll update the resource path to this. Under operation type, we will choose HTTP GET because we have to retrieve absence information from the application. Now tab out. These parameters will get defaulted, that is person ID, start date, and end date. They help the business object identify the person for whom the absences are to be returned and the beginning and end period for which absences are to be retrieved. We need to edit each of these parameters and enter a description. So we'll click on edit and enter a description. Click on done. Edit the next parameter. Enter the description. Click on done. Edit the third parameter. Enter the description and click on done. Now click on done and then click on create. So we have created the existing absence business object. Now let's review a few seeded business objects that will be used by our agent. So search for absence balance. Click here to open the business object. So this business object will return the absence plan balances of a worker as of a specific date. Now scroll down and click here to open the business object function. Here we can see the parameters for this business object. The assignment ID that identifies the assignment of the worker. A worker may hold multiple assignments. So this ID will be used to retrieve the correct assignment. And balance as of date parameter, which determines the date we want the absence balance to be calculated. Now let's review the next business object. So click cancel here and search for public worker business object. Click here to open the business object. So this business object returns the personal and employment details of a worker. Now scroll down to view the list of available business object functions. Let's review a couple of them. First, open the get worker by person number function. This function retrieves the worker detail based on the parameter person number. Now let's go back and review another function. Open the get worker representatives function. This function retrieves details about a worker's representative, for example, their HR rep or benefits rep. Here the parameters are person ID and assignment ID. These ensure that the correct assignment is used when fetching representative details, especially if the worker has multiple assignments. Next, let's review another business object. So we'll exit from here. Search for worker assignment business object. Click here to open the business object. So this business object returns details about a worker's employment within an organization. Open the Get Worker Assignment Business Object function. Here we can see the person ID parameter. This parameter identifies the worker for whom we want to fetch assignment details. Now let's create a deep link that will allow the users to add an absence. So we'll exit from here. Click on the Deep Links tab. Click on Add. Enter the family as HCM, product as absences. Give it a name. Enter the relative URL. So this is the link to the Add Absence page. To get the deep link for a specific Fusion page, we can navigate to Tools, Deep Link, and retrieve the link for that page. Enter a description, and then click Create. Now let's create tools and add business objects and deep link to these tools. So these tools will be used by the agent to respond to user queries. So click on Tools tab. Click on Add. Under Tool Type, there is a list of options available. Business object lets the agent retrieve data from Fusion application. Deep link creates direct links to specific pages in Fusion application. Document allows the agent to use uploaded files to respond to inquiries. Email enables the agent to send or manage messages. And external REST connects the agent to an outside application through REST APIs. Here let's select tool type as business object. Give it a name. And the tool code is auto-generated. Let's enter a description. Now click on Add under Business Object. Search for the business object that we created earlier. Select the business object and click on Add. And then click Create. Again, click Add to create another tool. Tool type as business object. Give it a name. Tool code will be auto-generated. Enter the description. Click on Add. Here we'll search for the seeded absence balance business object. Add the absence balance business object to this tool and click Create. We'll create another tool. So click on Add again. Enter the tool type as business object. Give it a name. Enter a description. Click on Add. Search for public workers, which is again a seeded business object. Add the seeded business object to this tool. Click on Create. Again, click on Add. Tool type as business object. We'll give it a name. Enter a description. Click on Add to add the business object. Search for worker assignments. Select the worker assignment business object and click on Add to add it to this tool. Finally, we will create a deep link tool. So click on Add. In tool type, select deep link. Give it a name. Enter a description. Click on Add. Search for the deep link we created earlier. Select the deep link and click on Add, and then select Create. Now we have created all our tools. The next step is to create the agent team. So go to the Agent Teams tab and click on Add. Enter the agent team name. The code will be auto-generated. Enter the family as HCM, product as absences, maximum interactions as 10, So this setting controls how many times the agent can interact with tools and topics. Enter the description. Next, select the LLM tab. The large language model provider will remain set to default. Next, go to the questions section. Here you can enter starter questions to help users get started. So let's enter one question as an example. We can also enable the follow-up questions if we want the AI to generate follow-up questions based on user conversation history. Let's move to the security section. So this section defines which roles have access to this agent. In this case, add the employee roles since the agent will be used by all employees. Click apply and then click create. Now click on the agent icon to create a new agent. Select the plus button in front of new worker agent. Enter the basic details just as we did earlier when setting up the agent team. Here you will notice an additional box for the prompt, which was not available in the agent team setup. The prompt should include the instructions, rules, and context that define the agent's behavior, identity, and boundaries. So I will enter the prompt here. So let's go through the prompt in detail. The agent helps the employees understand leave balances, view absences, and request time off. Then the key responsibilities include identifying employee and today's date, show absence balances for PTO, vacation, sick leave, donations, then retrieve past, present, or future absences, and add new requests. Then the user identification workflow is laid out, like use the get user session tool to fetch the person number and then pass the person number to the get worker by person number tool to fetch person ID and then pass the person ID to get worker assignment to get the assignment details of the worker. And if there are multiple assignments, ask the employee to clarify which one they are asking about. In the date interpretation rules, the agent should translate natural language into precise date ranges. Some examples are given here that allow employees to ask questions in everyday language without worrying about exact dates. Then date handling defaults. This ensures the agent always has valid dates to process queries. Then use system tools like get balances, get absences, add absences for handling specific queries. And finally, the agent has to follow the tool sequence, be factual, no assumptions, and presents the results clearly. Scroll up and under LLM, you will see the language model the agent will use. Leave it set to the default. Finally, click Create to complete the setup. Now click on the Tools box to open the Tools panel on the left. We will search for the tools we created earlier in the demo. We will add all these 5 tools we created earlier into our agent. To do that, click on the plus icon in front of the agent. This is the absence balance business object tool that we created. Click on Add. Next, click on the public workers business object tools that we created. Next one is the existing absence business object tool. Then we have the worker assignment business object tool. And finally, we have the add absence deep link tool. We will also add the get user session tool. Now we will expand the tools. So that gives us a total of 6 tools for this custom agent. Once all tools are added, click Save and Close. Now we will search for our agent team. Click on the pencil icon to open it. Before publishing the agent, it's a good idea to debug and make sure everything is working correctly. So we'll click on the debug, that is the play icon here, and start interacting with the agent. This is the starter question we entered when we were configuring the agent. So let's begin interacting with the agent. The agent returns a response and shows the time taken. All the tools used to build the answer in debug mode. Click on this to review input payload and response. So the get user session tool fetches the person number of the logged in user. That person number is then used by the public worker tool to generate the person ID. The person ID is then used by the worker assignment tool to generate the assignment details of the logged in user. And finally, the absence balance tool generates the plan balances of the logged in user. Let's ask another question. For this query, agent knows that it is not supposed to add an absence, but invoke a deep link tool that displays the hyperlink to HCM page where user can go and add their absence manually. Let's ask another question. For this query, agent invokes the existing absence business object tool to fetch leaves taken within a specific time frame. In this case, last 3 months. But the logged in user has not taken any leaves in the past 3 months. Now we know that our agent is working. So we'll go ahead and publish the agent. Now our employees can simply go to Me AI Chat, search for the agent and start interacting with it. From Me, click on AI Chat. From the Explore section, search for the agent we just created. Click on the custom agent and the user can start interacting with the agent. So that brings us to the end of the demonstration. Thank you.